The summer movie season keeps on giving, folks. I have just seen Barbie, and I'm here to give you my overall thoughts and score on the film. There will be spoilers throughout, so avert your eyes and ears if you have not seen the film. Barbie is directed by Greta Gerwig. It is rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. As I do with every review, here is a brief synopsis on what the film is about. Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land. However, when they get a chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. Let's get right into what I loved about this movie. Firstly is the cast. Margot Robbie as Barbie, or in this film, she's known as stereotypical Barbie, could not be more meant for this role than Robert Downey Jr. was for Iron Man. It just made sense, and it was a dynamite decision, as Margot Robbie is an extremely versatile actress. She was funny, she was dramatic, she was the whole package, and she fit right in with Gerwig's style. Of course, we have to mention Ryan Gosling as Ken, and you can immediately tell that he's having the time of his life. He had really funny moments, and the way he kind of portrays himself as this simpleton kind of guy who can't really be independent because he always wants to be around Barbie provides some of the best comedy in the film. Simu Liu from Shang-Chi is also in this, and he plays another version of Ken and has this sort of rivalry with Gosling's Ken that was funny to watch unfold as the movie progressed. Kate McKinnon just has a ball in this film. She's playing ugly Barbie. She's portrayed as this very weird Barbie that none of the other Barbies like to visit or be associated with, as this particular Barbie was played with a little too hard by her human and is constantly splitting her legs a lot, which was weird and hilarious. The list goes on with the amount of stars in this movie, but my absolute favorite, and one actor we all should watch out for, is Kingsley Ben-Adir. I personally felt he was the MVP of this movie, low-key. Another version of Ken who bounces off Gosling very well when it comes to comedic timing. This guy is everywhere. He's the villain in the MCU series Secret Invasion, and he's also stepping into the shoes of Bob Marley for his upcoming biopic, One Love. This guy's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. The film is smartly written and handles the notion of Barbie entering the real world in a fun way. There are underlying themes in the film that I personally did not expect that the script handles in a sophisticated enough way that I'm not being hit over the head with it. Barbie deals with change for the very first time, and you see her unraveling and becoming anxious when she's aware of that change now, and she realizes that maybe she's not as perfect as she thought she was, that the world can be cruel and unforgiving, but there's also very beautiful moments in between. For example, there's a scene where her and Ken are in the real world and Barbie sits alone on a bench in a park, and she just sits and looks around at a couple arguing, there's a couple laughing, the sun is shining through the trees, and then she looks over at an elderly woman sitting next to her and tells her how beautiful she is. And the elderly woman says, "I know it." Also, at the end of the film, Barbie decides she wants to become human and be a part of this big, scary, yet beautiful world. It was a very touching moment as she soaks in and feels everything all at once. She can feel her heart beating, images of loved ones playing with their children. These moments in this movie signify that you don't have to be beautiful to be Barbie. You don't have to be perfect to be Barbie. And despite how awful the world can be at times, it has its moments of beauty that make it all worth it. Of course, this being a review, I did have some negatives. The film is paced well up until the second act. Barbie and Ken finally make it to the real world to figure out what's going on with Barbie. She's thinking about death and everything is going wrong with her. She goes to the Mattel offices, and personally I felt that's where the story takes a bit of a creative dip. The jokes didn't quite land for me here, and I was kind of hoping we would get back to Barbie Land soon. Also, Will Ferrell being in the movie as the CEO of Mattel didn't quite jive with me the way I was kind of expecting it would, with Will Ferrell being a comedic actor. I personally felt his comedic timing just wasn't landing for me, but those are my only criticisms. With all that down, it's time for my overall score. The film is very funny, heartfelt, and the cast is just fantastic. Greta Gerwig still manages to put her stamp on it despite it being a big studio project. It does get a little bogged down in the second act and the humor starts to derail during that time, but overall, I'm giving Barbie 4 out of 5 stars. But what did you think of Barbie? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me what your favorite movie from Greta Gerwig is. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel where I talk about video games and movies. Be sure to tick that bell so you can always be notified when I drop new videos. Until next time, folks, keep it classy and keep it geeky.